I think this project is a catalyst for a lot of change and a lot of progress in this area. Prior to this project, you would have seen some pretty rough pavement around here, aging bridges. You would have experienced a lot of left-hand exits. That's not something that's really intuitive for drivers, and a lot of traffic.
For those people who weren't familiar with Council Bluffs, an old, tired, dilapidated interstate system gave the impression of an old, tired, dilapidated community. And so it's really enhanced people's opinion of what the community of Council Bluffs is.
I started on the Council Bluffs Interstate program back in 2001. You know, at the time, this was the largest roadway project with the Iowa DOT. We developed what we called guiding principles, which really guided our alternatives analysis, improving capacity, improving mobility, improving safety. We wanted to improve access to the community. We wanted to minimize environmental impacts. Early on, the DOT had developed about 70 separate construction packages. That's how they planned to implement this billion-dollar-plus program. They realized that this is such a unique program, they decided to take a program management approach to implement the entire program.
This project stands out among our other mega projects in that we've got a levee, we've got a railroad, and we've got 3 systems interchanges. You might get 1 or 2 of those in a project. It's tough to get all 3. Bringing on a GEC, a project of this size, it was such a big benefit for us. So many moving parts, so many open contracts. We just needed more hands on deck. And it's tough to get into the details when you can barely keep your head above water with the day-to-day things.
One of the great things about the Council Bluffs Interstate program has been the legacy of new ideas and new ways of doing things that have been applied throughout Iowa DOT projects since their inception. So one of the things that we did pioneer here was really how traffic management can really pay dividends to the state of Iowa, keeping people safe, reducing that fatality count, and making sure everybody gets home at night.
Our traffic management approach, one of the main challenges was the coordination between all of the different projects going on. So in a given year, we might have 2 or 3 construction projects on the interstate associated with the program itself. And then in addition to that, there's also regular maintenance projects going on, and then there's city projects. So with all these projects right next to each other, it really required us to have a defined process with traffic, strategic communications, and the field staff on how we were going to communicate and coordinate with everyone that needed to get all this information. That would include the general public, the contractors, stakeholders, and emergency responders.
We really integrated communication into everything from websites to going to public events in the park. We sent out flyers and postcards and used the newspaper. We're dealing with everything from our elected officials, our transportation commission, all the way down to the residents and the businesses that are there in the corridor, trying to communicate to all the people who travel through the corridor.
You know, the interstate's really the front door of people coming to your community as they come in from areas outside the city or just traverse around the city. It really has made an amazing difference in how easy it is to travel around town and through town to get to Omaha.
The Council Bluffs Interstate program has certainly left a mark on me. It's nostalgic to think about what we started and what we've ended with now. I can't thank HDR or Iowa DOT enough for the opportunity to work on this big program, to lead a team of folks that really were dedicated to its success the entire time.
I think back to the vision we had early on in the early 2000s. From what I've seen, I think we have exceeded that vision. I look at what's been built, I look at the aesthetics, I look at how it blends into the community. I'm just very pleased with the final product on this.
I'm proud of the partnership and the relationships we gained throughout the project. I'm proud that we were able to deliver the project under budget and ahead of schedule. proud of all the staff that poured their hearts and souls into this. We've changed the skyline in Council Bluffs. You can see these structures from a long ways away. Yeah, there's a lot to be proud of.